Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful friends. I'm your friend Kevin. Welcome to today's Divine Daily Blast. Let's get right to it, shall we? Yes, indeed. Yes. I am all poised and ready to go. Let's see. We have a number 3 angel numerology day. I like to start with that number. It's a little bit like the jumping off point, if you will, launch pad. So what does that even mean? Well, gentle guidance. A message is from your ascended masters, and you could say that might be Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, could be Dwal Kul, it could be Master Jesus if you want to be, it could be Saint Germain, it could be Brigid, it could be any of the ascended masters that you align with. I like to align with Melchizedek. I have some rather past life connection with that energy and that master, sticking to the course, following ancient religious texts, doing what we can do, behaving as not only kings and queens but also as priestly, God loving, not God fearing people. But I digress. You can also get gentle guidance from the loved ones who are now in the spirit world. And I like to think about folks who pass as saying they've graduated. They graduated the adventure of life. They got their diploma, and now they get to live in the realms of heaven. They could be sending us messages today, so listen carefully. They could be reminding us that everything is fine, everything's okay, and what's the matter? We should be having fun at all costs. The energy of a 3 is about being artistic and creative. As I keep saying, we seem to be on this adventure plane of artistry and creativity, and I was reminded of that yesterday by my good friend of over 30 years, Jessica Peach, an incredible, just an incredible, insightful woman. She is an all-round psychic. She is a teacher. She's really quite the master, who very quickly reminded me that I needed to open up my creativity more. And I've started delving into that. I like to be prepared before I emerge, but that's a little nudge from spirit. We need to emerge. We all need to emerge. This energy works with the 3 of Cups, the Hermit, or the Moon card. You can pull them out of your tarot decks and call upon Archangel Azrael, Gabriel, and Raziel. They can be called upon to help us all today. Now, the moon, my friends, has shifted into Aquarius. It might have been there yesterday. I have to check. Expect some fiery emotions today, because the moon, while it's moving through Aquarius, there's a clash going on with angry Mars. Mars is that big red planet and the energy of war, stirring things up. And let's face it, there's a lot being stirred up right now. But the good news is, if you do happen to pop up with somebody that you, this was a little bit of a tricky one, it should be very easy to kiss and make up. Use your powers of diplomacy. If you think that maybe on Monday you overspoke, if you think that perhaps you didn't quite get it right with somebody, kiss and make up. Let them know. That's the duality of, you could choose the war and you could be in that fractious mood and energy, or you can use it as a way to heal. Well, you know what side of the road I'm on. Here are my isms. I am peace. I am love. I am happiness. I am joy. I am enough. I am worthy of divine opulence. I am deserving of divine benevolence. And I am in command of receiving divine abundance. The universe adores me. Why wouldn't I not adore myself? Now, it might be a little bit cheeky to run around and say, I adore myself. I just can't stand it. I love myself so much. It just stinks. And I think, I think while that makes me feel good to say it, to spin around like not Mary Poppins, Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music, she was Mary Poppins at one point. You know that woman turned 90 yesterday. Hard to imagine, but there you go. Born in Surrey, fabulous voice, was introduced to the world at somewhere like 12 or 13 years old. There's a wonderful BBC podcast or movie about her. I think you have to go to the iPlayer to see it. Anyway, I digress. Here I go again, off on a tangent. A message from Archangel Raguel. As the friend of God, I can bring compassionate, uplifting people into your life. I think we had this the other day, but it flew out of the deck, so it's a reminder. Those who support you professionally and personally. Helpful people surround me everywhere I go. I attract friends who love and support me. Listen, my darlings, if you're going to come up against people that might seem like friends until they have a little bit of a woof with you, and they may not agree with everything you've got to say, all I've got to say to you is back away from a problem and move on. Because when I think about how many folks who I may disagree with, what's the point in going off and taking them to task? I disagree with them. Doesn't make them bad people. I just disagree with them. And if the way they're behaving is counterintuitive to if the way they're behaving is counterintuitive to what they're saying, right there is your message. Watch what people do as well as what they're saying. That makes sense? Yes, it does. I'm not going to go any further with that because then we get into the weeds of crazy. We've got Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel and Gabriel, one are the same. Here's what I love about the archangels are non-gender. Archangels, they've been written about in biblical terms as being more male. And I've come to find out in my modern learning is that it was easier, perhaps, an easier pill to swallow for people way back when the patriarchal system was introduced to see all angelic angels as being male. I think if you go to some of the artwork of the Italian Renaissance, you'll see cherubs painted all over the place. They're usually males, very few females, which is quite interesting. Anyway, I digress. As we've moved into modern times, we're learning from the angels, from those that channel, we're not male or female. We don't have gender. We don't procreate. That's what you do down in humans to keep the human race going. Where we are, we don't have the trappings of all of that. Isn't that wonderful? So, Gabriel, you just say it however you want to say it. But there are parts of yourself that you had abandoned. And this angel activation this week is to let the healing and the light reach all parts of yourself. Emerge, emerge, emerge. Sing the song you came here to sing. Dance the dance you came here to dance. And that means letting go of the low hanging branches, because that fruit just falls to the ground and rots. Now you get my point. Okay, Metatron and Sandalphon, sacred communication or sacred connection. They were once in human form, it's said. I never met them, but I can imagine if I did, I'd have quite a tea party. Synchronicity, divine connection, understanding the lessons. Oops, I thought there was something on the back, but there isn't. Metatron and Sandalphon are part of what I call the Thronins, a trilogy of archangels. Orion is the third one. Orion is part of the star people. Orion is somewhat angelic, somewhat of a master. He is the commander of the, oh my gosh, I forgot what it's called now. It's a very top chakra before you go up into the ethers. And I'll think of it at one point. I was shuffling this morning and putting the date into these fairy cards, and one flew out the deck and landed on the floor. So I picked it up and said, okay, what's the message? I did a quick close my eyes to get the message, and here comes Gertrude in a fabulous party dress. It's white, it's got all kinds of crinoline underneath. She's got her hair curly like Shirley Temple, but it is long like Rapunzel, and there are flowers all up in it. So I don't know if Gertrude's having one of her fake weddings or whether she's just preparing for the Queen. But Beatrice herself is dressed in a very slender, hugging silver, she looks like a mermaid in a silver kind of outfit, with gorgeous. So they're preparing for something. And this message comes from the angel princess, who's laying in the forest, just peacefully sleeping underneath the willow tree. You are the guardian of your precious dreams, and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them. I don't know about you. I can only, well, I'll put that down there. There you go. I don't know about you, but lately I have been having some rather lovely dreams. Many I don't remember, but the few I do are buying businesses. One dream I had, I was friendly with a dark-skinned gentleman, and he was very tall, very stoic, very good looking, and we were buying an automotive shop. It was quite a lovely thing, and then of course, I woke up, but I don't really remember them. That one I did, and I don't really interpret dreams because I think they're very, very personal, unless they are dreams that are somewhat horrific and somewhat problematic. Then I think it's a bit like popping a mental pimple. It don't need to dig into it, just need to be aware of that it was there. You can ask the fairies to do an extra layer of protection for you, to protect your dreams, by saying something like, fairies, this is my dream, it is dear to me, please protect it until it comes to me. Your dreams grow, they need to be nurtured and protected, and it's received from the fairies, so you'll gain power and momentum through these dreams. It's going to serve you well when your dreams are released out into the world. A little bit of a message from Karen Kay. That's it, my friends. Listen, we're sitting at 488. I don't know why that's a significant number, but it is. Subscribers, so thank you. And we are at 1.9 thousand videos since I've been doing this channel. I don't know why I don't have 1.9 thousand subscribers, but there you go. I try not to step into the weeds of worry. I try not to get into the problems of politics. Here's why, and I get this from the higher ones. It's always changing, always evolving, always going. But what I'll tell you about the latter subject, it's always problematic. There's always an issue. Somebody's always upset with somebody else. It's a little bit like it's like walking into an argument day after day after day after day, and somebody is just throwing shade at somebody else who throws shade back. I don't know how that moves anything forward. However, what I do know, those that I align with, those that I resonate with, all of you, have these bright light opportunities for possibilities. And listen, the opportunities for possibilities are everywhere. I mean, even if you look through fairy stories, Alice in Wonderland, she fell down a rabbit hole and ended up having a party with the Mad Hatter and all these other crazy people. That was fabulous. And those stories go on and on and on. Right, my friends, that's it from me for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Have wonderful life, have wonderful day, and blessings to you. Bye for now.